Hello everyone and welcome back to another buff breakdown. So with the strengthening campaign we got the 4-star rider buff today. Unlike my prediction of Astolfo, the buff landed to OG Martha Rider. So let's see what we have going on here. So it's a buff to her first skill. So previously on a 5-turn cooldown she got a 100% debuff resistance for herself for 3 turns and a 2.5k heal. Maybe not the worst skill of all time, but certainly kind of boring. It's basically making her immune to debuffs most of the time, which is great. And a heal can be cool too, but it's not a whole lot. It doesn't do anything for her own damage, nor does it really support the team either. So it's just kind of whatever. Let's see what they did. So now on the same 5-turn cooldown, both of the effects I just listed, the debuff res and the heal, they remain self-only with the same numbers, no changes whatsoever. But now we have 2 new lines. So first of all, she gets 30% MP gauge on use. And most importantly, now all allies get 50% anti-dragon power mod for 3 turns. Okay, now we're kind of talking. I like the battery kind of first and foremost because she never had any, and her gains, while they were not the worst I've ever seen, they certainly weren't great either. So if you ever wanted to get her MP, then, you know, good luck with that. Honestly, her MP never really did proper damage anyway, unfortunately. Even after the buff, she was just lacking so much in attack, steroids, whatever. So yeah, but at least for supporting purpose, if you did get it, at least it offered some AoE defense down. So with this, it kind of helps with that too. Now again, the bigger thing is definitely the team-wide power mod. Because not only is it team-wide, it is also 50%, which I'm pretty pleasantly surprised about. I thought it was going to be maybe 30% AoE or something, because remember she's a day 1 permanent 4-star. So, but hey, they didn't actually hold back for once, which is great. Now, Dragon might not be the most common trait ever, but it certainly does appear here and there. So this puts her in a really interesting position. I want to say if the enemy is Dragon now, she herself can actually do some damage maybe finally. So for you Martha DPS enjoyers, there's that. Obviously with the battery, you can, farm with her as well now. I don't think it's going to be super pretty, but maybe in some kind of multi-core application, there could be a thing. Because with the battery and her second append, that's already 50%. And if there happens to be Dragon enemies, then this power mod suddenly becomes very, very valuable. So there could be some multi-core shenanigans with her. I would not do a single core though. I think that's not going to be great still, even if you can stack this with Koyan. But yeah, if anything, it's also going to be nice against bosses as well. So this buff honestly is really sick. The other supporting she offered was a full party cleanse with a heal as well on her second skill. And the third skill also has a single target defense down of 30% for 3 turns with a full buff strip as well. So she actually has a lot of use cases now, I want to say. This is really cool. Because again, now she can be both seen in some multi-core farming and some more bosses. So I think, honestly, this is a really good buff. Actually, just hella strong. And I can't wait to see what people come up with this. So on the rider tier list this year, not long ago, we placed her on a C+, which, you know, not very flattering. But with this, I would say maybe even a minimum B+. Maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but I feel like, yes, even though you might not use her all the time now, she's still going to be a fairly rare pick, I want to say. But the fact remains that now you have a universal anti-dragon damage support that offers some other tools as well. And that's actually valuable. And I would reckon most people that have older accounts by now should have a copy of Martha. And again, MP levels should be now besides the point anyway. So if you just have 1 copy, you have access to that semi-good skill set now. So I think she's going to be a very nice servant to have moving forward. So tomorrow we're getting the final buff of the campaign, the 7th one, and it is a 5-star Lancer. So for my prediction, I'm gonna say the biggest contender will be Lancer Artoria, because I feel like she's definitely the worst of the 5-star Lancers. I think the second most likely one would probably be Brynhild. She could use some more love too, but what I would like to see personally with my bias would be Ritra. She has 0 buffs, and while she's not the weakest 5-star Lancer, she is probably my favorite of the bunch. But realistically, I think it will be going to Lancer Artoria. So there you go, the Martha buff. Very cool. Honestly, I've been very much enjoying this buff campaign so far. Even though Astolfo still has... He even had worse skills than Martha to begin with, so I'm kind of sad he didn't get the buff today. I can't be mad about this buff either. It's certainly well-deserved and a great buff nonetheless. So if you enjoyed this buff breakdown, do me a solid and press the thumbs up button on this video. It really helps out. And do subscribe not to miss out on future videos, because tomorrow we'll be right back to cover that final buff of the 5-star Lancer. Shout out to my patrons on the screen right now, and Suit for being a big YouTube tier member supporter. And otherwise, have a great rest of the week and see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.